Hi everyone, Anat Kessler here with a new video tutorial, and today we're going to learn 4 watercolor card techniques. So I'm going to take a piece of cardstock because I want to make a heart template. So this is a 4x4 square of cardstock. I'm working on 4x6 cards from watercolor paper. So I want to cut a heart and use it as a template for my cards. So just eyeball it and trim it until you like how it looks. Okay, so this is my card, and we're going to start making our first card. You would need, of course, watercolors, and I like to use the cover, the plastic cover, to mix colors, so it's always dirty. And then you will need 2 water containers, one clean and one that you can wash the color off your brushes. So for our first card, we're going to make a really easy technique. We're going to trace the heart with a pencil very gently. We don't want too bold of a pencil line. So we're going to trace around the heart, and then we're going to bring a brush. I'm going to use 2 brushes, maybe even 3, we'll see. So I'm going to bring a brush, I'm going to wet it with clean water, and I'm going to spread the water along the line, along the pencil line that we did. And then I'm going to bring another brush, dip it in some watercolor, and start adding color. And the more wet your paper is, the more the color will spread around the paper. So if you want it to spread a lot, then wet your paper with a lot of water. If you want it to not spread so much, add less water. So whenever I want to add water, I'm using my clean brush because I want the water to be without any color to them. So I'm just spreading my color around like this, adding water and then adding color. And of course you can add different colors and they will mix while you add them onto the paper, and that will create a really pretty effect. So I'm starting with the outside line, going around the line, and then I keep adding color towards the center, and I'm spreading it with my brush, and of course it's spreading because the paper is wet. So you can color the entire heart, you can focus only on the frame. This is completely up to you. If you want more water, then add more water with your clean brush. So I'm going to add more color to my heart, different shades of red and pink, and I'm going to add a little bit of purple just to make it not so one-dimensional. Want to add a little bit more color and make it a little bit more interesting. Then I'm going to color the entire heart, and basically this is our first technique. Very easy, but I really like the effect that it has. Watercolors have the best effect. And of course you can write or stamp or add a sticker on it. If you want to add a message or something like that, some text, you can simply, like I said, write, stamp, add stickers, add any type of letter to your card. Okay, so this is our first card. And you can add more color if you want it to have more layers and depth. So let's set that aside, and we can go ahead and start our next card. So for our next technique, I'm also going to trace my heart with a pencil all around. And again, I'm going to take my clean brush, and this time I'm going to add the water on the outside of the line, and I'm going to add a lot of water all around the line. I'm going to add a lot of water because I need it for this technique. So just add water, and then we'll bring the other brush and add color outside of the line this time. Just going to put it under on a piece of paper. You're going to understand in a minute why. So you see how much water I have there. You see how they pick the color and spread it around. And I'm just adding the color along the line, along the pencil line. Just loading the paper with the color, and it mixes with the water like this. And then I'm going to bring a straw and simply blow, that's my head, blow the water. I have to really blow hard, and then you'll see the effect that it makes. It's really fun. Just go around, turn the card, and just blow the water with the paint away, and then it will give you this explosion effect, which is really, really cool. And of course you can add more water and more color and do it again. So the more water you add, the easier it is to blow it and create that explosion effect. Sorry about that. So I'm just adding more color. Gonna bring my straw and then blow it again. Look at that pretty effect. I really love that. So you just keep on adding layers of water and color until you're happy with your exploding effect. And of course you can mix colors and make it more interesting if you want. And then in the center you can add text with stamps or letter stickers or just handwriting, whatever you prefer. So let's put that aside to dry. And then for a third card, I'm going to trace the heart again. And then this is going to be a really fun resist technique. So I'm using a marker. It can be oil-based, it's the best. You can also use crayons for this effect, and basically I'm drawing some swirls inside the heart. You can draw any shape that you want, lines or little hearts or dots, or write something, whatever you feel like doing. And once you're done with that, you simply bring in your watercolors and then you paint over the entire heart. So again, you bring your, I'm coloring directly on the dry paper. I didn't wet it first, so I just upload my wet brush with watercolors and I'm painting directly on a dry paper. I'm going to add another color just to make it slightly more interesting. And then I'm going to show you when it's wet, it's less visible than when it's dry, but you can still see some of the pattern that we drew before resist the water and shines through the color. So you can start seeing it very, very lightly. When it's dry, it's going to be much more visible. So for a last technique, I'm going to trace the heart again. And this is also a really fun technique. We're going to color the heart again with some watercolors. So again, I'm loading a wet brush with some watercolors. I'm coloring the heart directly on dry paper. You can do it also on wet paper, it doesn't really matter. The idea is what comes next after we're going to finish coloring the heart. We're going to take a plastic bag and create texture on the watercolors. So I'm just wrinkling the plastic bag and pressing against the watercolor. So you see the pattern, it looks really cool. You can keep on doing that and then let it dry. Looks really cool because the paper is wet, the color moves, so you would need to do this a few times because the color flows around the paper and the effect disappears. So every once in a while, just go in with your plastic bag and press against the paper to re-emphasize that effect. So I'm also going to add a little bit of lighter coat of color around the heart just for extra effect and make the card nicer. Just pull a little bit of the color and spread it around. This is completely optional, you don't have to do this. I think it adds more layering and more interest to the card, but that's completely up to you. So I'm just pulling away the color, the watercolor, so the heart's a little bit more less defined. And you can still see the spots that we created with the plastic bag. You can keep on playing with this until you're happy with what you've created. Then I'm going to go in with the plastic bag one last time for extra effect. And then I'm going to show you how all the cards look when they are dry. Let's add a few more. Okay, so once all the cards are dry, let's remove all the paint. Okay, so this is the first one with our coloring. This is the one we did with the straw, and this is, look how it looks really pretty with the resist technique, how it looks nice. Hope you like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the little bell icon to be notified when I upload a new video. So I will see you next time.